Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you how I did this beautiful set of aura nails, and also how I take my airbrush apart and clean it. So if you would like to see how I do it, then stay tuned. Alright you guys, so I'm going to just jump right into this video. This is the particular airbrush that I am using. I did get it from Amazon, and I will leave the link in the description box below. I know they have another one just like this, but it doesn't have the digital screen to it. But I'm pretty sure it works just the same. So I'm going to start off by showing you guys how I load it up and all of this stuff. But first I'm going to just give you a quick rundown. You just unscrew the bottom from the compressor part from the airbrush top, and then you also can unscrew the tank, which holds your liquid when you're about to start airbrushing. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and show you the other parts that come with it, which is a larger tank and a slightly smaller tank. Now I did put acetone in this one. I'm not sure if I was doing acetone and acrylic paint or acetone and gel polish, but either way, there was an allergic reaction. That was a chemical reaction, and it kind of like ate away at my tank a little bit. So yeah, I'm not going to put acetone in there anymore. So let that be a lesson for you guys. Don't put acetone in those. You don't want to ruin it. So for this design, I'm just going to go ahead and start off as I usually would do. I'm just using my gel polish, which today the color is Cloud Marshmallow from the D&D collection. I really like it. I wanted something bright. I know Halloween is coming up, so you can pretty much use any colors you want to use when you're airbrushing. And this isn't like a full complete design. It could be, but I know a lot of people are doing like the airbrush and then they're throwing a design over top of it. That is what you can do, but this video is pretty much like the foundation, the basics, because you have to get the basics down before you can start throwing a design over top of it. So anyways, I'm gonna go in with this Cloud Marshmallow. I'm gonna be doing 2 coats, and then we'll get into the airbrushing part. Also, I wanted to note that I did not run out and get an airbrush as soon as this trend popped up. I just got mine probably like 3 or 4 days ago, and I was looking at other options because I'm like, if this is the only design I'm going to be airbrushing with, then why go and spend the money? But I was looking at some other things and like the airbrush stencils and stuff like that. So I figured I could get a little bit more use out of it than just the aura nails. And I'll be excited when I get to show you guys some of the other things that I come up with. So if you don't want to necessarily get an airbrush, look into some other ways. I've seen people do the aura nails with blowing gel. I have done some myself. And it works just as good. I mean, it doesn't look exactly like airbrush nails, of course, but it does still look good, and you get the same aura effect. Also, I've seen people do it with the makeup brush and the powder. That comes out really good. So if you don't want to get an airbrush, just look at other options, and you can definitely still get it done. You do not have to go out and buy these things if you don't really have a use for it, or if this is the only thing that you're going to be using it for. Save your money and look into some other options. Alright you guys, so now that I am done doing both my coats of gel polish and curing them, I'm going to go ahead and do my mixture for my airbrush. So you want your consistency to be pretty loose. So we're going to go with 100% acetone, and we're going to add 2 drops of gel polish to it. And I'll show you the amount that I've used. I didn't measure it out, but it's about that much in the bottom of a shot glass. And then the color of gel polish I'm using is Hipster Girl by D&D. I'm just going to put 2 drops in there. And then you're going to want to get you a brush and just mix it up really good together. It's supposed to be loose, so don't worry. And just keep stirring it until you get a really good mixture. I like to lean mine to the side so I can see, because if it's really clear around the liquid ring, I add just a little bit more because I want all the liquid to be colored. And I have made the mistake of pouring it straight into my tank here, and I've made a mess. So I'm just using one of the little medicine droppers and just transferring it over there that way. Also, if you prefer to mix your acetone and gel polish right inside of the tank, you can. I just prefer to see what I'm doing. That's why I decided to do it in a shot glass. This particular airbrush do come with 3 settings, and you turn it on just by pressing the button here. And it's 22 psi, 24, and 26, I believe. I just stay on 22 psi because I don't need that much pressure. So yeah, I did a little test on my mat here before I sprayed on my nails, just to make sure the color was coming out how I wanted it to. And I'm not really going to explain too much because you guys can see what I'm doing, but you don't want to be right up on your nail when you start airbrushing, because the wind that's coming out of it, the air that's coming out of the end, is it can push your gel polish, and you don't want that. And here I'm going to show you guys what happens if you get too close. The gel polish will pull, and if you get super close and spray too hard, it will spread your gel polish and completely ruin the aura effect that you're going for. And if that does happen, just get you an alcohol wipe and go ahead and wipe that off, and then you can start over again. So we're gonna do this again since we've gotten that off of our nails. And again, we're not gonna be right up on our nails when we spray. We're gonna be about this distance back. I don't know how to, I guess you guys can see how far I'm back from the nail, and I'm just spraying a little bit at a time, because you can easily build it up by spraying some more. But if you spray more than what you like, you're gonna have to take it all off and start over. So I say just go in little spurts at a time, because this is for beginners. I'm pretty sure an expert just goes right in and get it done, but it's okay to take your time and go step by step, little by little, until you get it how you want it to look. So when I was telling you guys earlier about how far I pull my trigger, this is about how far I move it, and it's enough to get the color that I'm getting on these nails here. You do not have to pull all the way back. I think that's for like a larger surface area, and I'm not going for that. So make sure you keep that in mind. This is what they are looking like after the first round of airbrush. I did want it a little bit darker, so I'm going to go in a second time and just spray a little bit more until I get the exact color density that I want. If you want to stop here, you definitely can, but I just wanted mine a little bit darker. So that's what I'm going to go in and do now. I also don't know if I told you guys already in this video, and excuse noise because I'm outside doing my voiceover again. So this is gel polish, and you do have to cure it. I don't know, some people might not know, but you do have to put it in the lamp to cure it, because even though you do have acetone, it's still gel polish. It's not going to just dry. Also, I know there have been a little bit of controversy about using the acetone, especially when you're working with clients and it getting on their skin and all of that. But you can also use acrylic paint With the acrylic paint, I would not mix it with acetone. I have done that, and it just kind of separated my paint. It clumped up, and it just wasn't working out really well for me. So you just want to add some water to it, and you want it so thin that if you put a little bit, like a drop on the side of whatever container you're mixing it in, that it just runs right down. You want it that loose. So acrylic paint, add water, very loose. All right, and this is what it's looking like, you guys. I absolutely love it. This is not the end of the video. If you want to see how to clean your airbrush, then keep watching. But the top coat just brings it all together. Like, it makes it look absolutely amazing. So as far as cleaning, I did clean mine, and then I decided to record how to clean it afterwards. So you would just pour your acetone mixture out into a little container or whatever, something that's disposable or that you can pour out and clean. And then you want to add some alcohol to it, and you want to spray until you see no more of the pigment coming out. Preferably spray on something white where you can really see. And then I put my finger up against the hole, and I pull the trigger back and let it bubble up in the tank. So you want to do that long enough to where your tank is clean. You can always go in after you pour your alcohol out and wipe the inside of the tank out. After that, I just remove my tank from my airbrush and pour the excess alcohol out, and also spray the excess alcohol out as well. This front part, if you have this particular airbrush, it just unscrews, and I'm just going to throw it in some alcohol and let that soak for a minute. Also, just stick the tip in, pull the trigger, and clean some more off the front. Next, I'm going to go to the back and unscrew this piece, and there's another tiny little piece right here that you guys can see. You just want to pull that off. That will help you get to your needle. And I will say be very careful, because this needle is super sharp. If you poke yourself, you're probably going to draw blood, and nobody wants to do that. So we're just going to stick that in the alcohol as well. I just dipped my lint-free wipe in the alcohol. I'm just going to wipe down really quickly to get everything clean and all of the excess acetone and gel polish mixture that ran out. I want to get all of that off. This airbrush did come with some tube cleaners or pipe cleaners, whatever you want to call them, in all different sizes. You can use that as well. I do use it for certain parts, other parts I don't. This didn't really get that dirty this time, so I can suffice with just wiping it out like you see me doing here. Once you have cleaned the outside to your liking, go ahead and take your needle out of your alcohol and wipe that down. As you can see, it was dirty. It didn't look like it was, but the wipe says different. So once you wipe that down really good, go ahead and push that back in. Screw your little piece back on, and then screw your bigger piece back on. And I will say, still be careful at this point, because the needle is poking out of the end, and you can still poke yourself. Next, we're going to take this front piece out, and we're going to go ahead and wipe that down. Here I could use the pipe cleaner, but I just kind of scrunched my lint-free wipe up a little bit, and enough just to get it in there and get whatever gel polish residue was left. And after I'm done with that, I'm just going to screw it back on. This opening here where you screw your tank onto, you can get a lot of residue build up in there. I would say just fill your tank with acetone and pull the trigger and flush it until you don't see any more. Definitely go in with your pipe cleaner at that point and make sure you get all of that cleaned out. You don't want a bunch of gunk stuck in your airbrush, because it could affect some of your future designs. Alright, you guys, we're finally to the end of this video. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all the tips and tricks that I've showed you guys. Please give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Until next time, you guys, I will catch you in the next one.